Welcome back to Day Our Survival. You'll see we are right outside the town of Vologda. We are going to continue our Searching for Truth quest here. So it starts off, I found the diary of an orderly. I doubt that the patient with burns and the rest who died without symptoms are associated with just one event. But such a conclusion just comes to my mind. I need to understand how it is all connected. Is it a combination of biological and nuclear weapons? I won't know until I understand who was the aggressor. So it wants us to go into Vologda here. All right, so we are heading into Vologda. So we've got the undeveloped film. On the outskirts, I found a dead man holding a film camera. He had clearly been filming something prior to his death. It could be a home movie, but I must check. I have to find a photo lab to develop this film. So it wants us to find a photo lab, develop the film. You will need developing tank, developer, fixative, and clean water. So it wants us to go there, to the photo lab. Now the radiation in this town is going to be a lot higher because now it's in the large marks here, shown to be extremely high radiation. Okay, you're being attacked here. Let's just attack, 56% chance. So we did get that. I'm going to go straight into my inventory here, straight to bandages and start bandaging myself up. Now, if you ever have the sponge does get rid of it 20% here, but sometimes I like to save them for times that I'm seriously about to die. And also this one here, its effects last for 48 hours. It reduces the negative effects of several lacerations. So I also like to keep this one for times that I'm about to die. All right, so let's actually go into our inventory here. I'm going to butcher this so then that way I can fry up the meat and use it. I'm actually going to just pick it all up. And let's zoom back in here and we'll head over to the photo lab. So we're being attacked again. This time I'm just gonna start escaping it if I can here, just to save us time. So let's search this place here and we will pick up the developing tank, the developer for photos, and the fixative for photos. So I'm going to mark this off with our X here and I'm going to attempt to do this outside of town here so my radiation levels don't get extremely high. We'll go back to this area. So to do this next part of the quest, we have the developing tank, the developer, the fixative, and clean water. You have to go into your inventory and use your inventory menu buttons. So you'll see here, and develop film. You can't view this film until it's developed as a photo. First, insert the film into a special tank. So we'll insert. And then you're gonna move over here. Now you'll see you have the developer for photos. This is used to develop film. So let's pour that in. Then you're going to click on the fixative for photos. You're also going to pour that in. Then you're going to click the developing tank. Now it has the fixer in it. So we are going to rinse this with our clean water. And there's the next part. This movie buff and nature lover filmed the explosion. There's no mistaking a nuclear blast. It could explain a lot, but it also leads me to some new questions. The main question is still the same. Who is our enemy? Now it wants us to go to Yaroslavel. So we are going to view that on the map, and there it is. So let's zoom back out here. I'm going to zoom back into our area here. I'm going to disassemble these skeletons. Now, when you synthesize these bones, okay, this is going to be what raises our chemistry level up here. You'll see we are just in between 3 and 4. I have 186 out of 500 necessary points to get me to level 4. When you start synthesizing your bones, this is what helps to raise up your chemistry level. So when you can, try and get that done. To synthesize bones, it also takes a lot of water up. So you'll see if we open up this, it'll say we need 1 bone, utensil, and fire. Oh, this isn't the one that does the water. So what I'm going to do here is just finish synthesizing the bones, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with the coal here. So we're just going to keep doing this for a few more minutes. I guess I should be doing this. My finger gets trigger happy. So now you'll see we have 56 pieces of coal. Now what you can do with the coal, all right, if you have enough water, okay, is you can go into chemistry here and you can create the activated charcoal. This will give you 5 chemistry points. You'll see that I'm already up to 228. Now, I know a lot of this is repetitive, but at the same time, if you want to start raising up your different levels here, you're going to need to be cooking, you need to be doing some sort of chemistry. The sewing was completely unlocked, so I don't need to worry about tearing things up. The next thing I'd like to do is start collecting the items necessary to make the leather clothing. So the leather jacket here requires prepared skin, okay? So you need 3 alone just for the jacket. Then you need 2 alone for the pants. 2 for the boots. You get what I'm saying? You're going to need to start collecting a lot of skin to make those. Now the basis for these ones up here, the highway jacket, requires you to make the handmade shirt, the handmade pants, all of the handmade items before you can make that, which those are up here. So in order to make these on level 4, you have to start by making these ones on level 2. But I kind of just want to go straight to the leather items here. So eventually I'm going to start trying to hunt some animals to get that skin. To get prepared skin as well, you need to have lots of salt. So we've collected lots of salt. So here what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to replenish my levels here. And I'm going to start searching for some water so I can start boiling up some water. Also while I'm here, I'm going to start frying up some of the food here, the meat. And I'll probably star that as well. So my main objective right now is to get some gas and some water. These I'm just going to drop. I have lots of food. Eventually down the road, you're going to have so much food that it's kind of overwhelming. You just have to pick and choose what it is that you really want. While I'm here, I'm also going to just sleep for a little bit, get those levels right back, and then drink my last bottle of water. There we go. And let's go back into town here. Now, a good place for dirty water is also ruins. For the most part, almost all of the ruins hold dirty water. So if you're ever very desperate and you can't find a crater of water, just start searching dirty ruins and get some dirty water and start just boiling it yourself. So now I have 7 bottles of water. This one actually I'm not going to do because there's only toxic water there, skeletons, ruins, etc. So we'll move to the next building. You'll see my radiation level's already at 7 up here. So when going into these towns that are in the middle of those big blast sites, just remember the radiation level is going to keep moving extremely fast the closer you get into them. What I'll probably be doing next as well is starting to create the items necessary for the motorcycle. It's nice to have a piece of machinery that's going to move pretty quickly, especially when the map is friggin' huge. This part I'm just going to get out. I'm actually going to cross it with an X, but an orange X from here on out. Let's head over to this pharmacy. Pharmacies are good. Obviously, there's all sorts of medications and whatnot there. You want to pick up as much as you can without overloading. This one here, I think is a tailor shop. I'm just going to go straight over to this building instead. So you'll see I'm getting a ton of caffeine products here. Clothing store, don't need that. Now these municipal management buildings. Right now I guess I'm searching because I see there's a mystery coupon, but at the same time, if they hold vodka and wine, you can actually start taking sips of it right before you go to rest to let your levels go down, it will take down your radiation level, I think, about by 5. So let's get out of that. That's pretty much all I'm going to need here. My radiation level, you'll see, is 23 already. I am going to try to get up to that military base there. Seems to be a lot of attacks happening here. Actually, this one I do want to butcher. Really, I'm not so much looking for the meat as I am looking for the skins. So I'm going to pick all that up, go straight over to my bandages, and start wrapping myself up. Okay, I'm going to attempt to get up here just to check it out. So there's AK-74 spare parts here. I'm going to pick those all up and drop them off at one of my bases. And if I get the motorcycle, I could literally just have it all. So let's get out of that. Let's go over here. Check out the crater. Dirty water. Probably could have saved a lot more time by just searching the crater before actually searching ruins. But, you know, also you're going to find a few other things, possible mystery items, etc. This here is a school. I'm not even going to bother going to search it. I'm just going to continue on. You'll see my radiation levels are extremely high. I'm going to say 30 is usually my max limit. So I'm going to take a couple sips of my vodka here, bring down my levels. And let's go over to this. Let me chop up just a little bit more wood. Kindle a fire. And let's start boiling some of the water here. So then that way we have lots of clean water. So our fire has now gone out. So I'll go back here and I'll just kindle some more, go back into my inventory and start boiling more water. Now I have 51 bottles of water. One thing I did forget to do is go into that town and mark the dirty water spot. Now, if you are farther away out and you want to mark somewhere, oh, I see I marked it with an X. So let's remove that X, and I'm going to point to the spot that I want to mark, and I'm going to just switch it. Done. Let's get back out of this town. I really don't need to be there. I'm just going to get rid of a few of my excess things. You'll see I have AK-74 spare parts. I also have some ammo. I have quite a few things here. And right now I'm using my bike with the cart. So what I'm going to start trying to do now is scavenging some nearby cities. Maybe we'll get down into this area here, make ourselves some sort of a camp somewhere here since we're already heading down to Moscow area over here. And we'll start scavenging things so then that way we can make our motorcycle and some leather clothing, just some better armor to have. I'm going to have myself a rest. Okay, so pretty much what I'm going to do now is get my levels all replenished back to square one and head over this way. Maybe we'll make some sort of a base camp up in this area. I was thinking maybe more closer over here. But to get there, we'll kind of have to go through a town anyway. Now I'm just on the brink of this radiation circle here. So I'm just going to make sure I don't get too much farther in. Now I know there's a lot of towns around here. And yes, at one point I will scavenge them because my OCD will not let me really go by them without scavenging something. But right now I have quite a few things. I have food, I have lots of water. The wear on my tear on my bike, probably just take a look at. Try and just repair it while we're here. Now it's down to 8% instead of 28 and just continue on. Now right here is a river. So to get across that as fast as we can, we are just gonna go right through the edge of the city. Right along the outskirts. Crossing water takes forever if you're not on a raft. I'm just going to quickly take a look around. Now, normally I'd be scavenging for gas right now, but since we don't have the motorcycle, I don't want to take up too much room by carrying too much gas so far. So let's pick up the battery here. There's a lot of attacks going on. I definitely need some better armor. Now, before you butcher, you should really be bandaging yourself up first because you never know if you're going to die while you're butchering something. This steel, I guess I don't really have to be carrying around. I'm not sure where I picked it up, but that's okay. I'm going to drop it all off in the same area. So I think I'm going to make camp over in this area. It's right perfectly in the middle of a ton of towns that we can start scavenging for necessary items. So this will be my new base right here. All right, so now that we're here, I'm going to start chopping up some wood. I'm going to kindle a fire, make the little hut, and I'm going to mark it with my star. And now I'm just going to make sure I take myself a rest and get my levels right back to perfect. So again, in a few of my next videos, I'm just going to be scavenging the nearby towns, looking for necessary items, bringing them all back to my base, and then I want to create a motorcycle and some better armor. So that's probably what we'll end up doing now. So I'll go into my inventory here. All these excess things I'm going to start dropping because my load will go down. I don't really need to have them all. I'm going to disassemble this, which I should have done earlier. It does save some room. And you want to keep those because eventually we are going to be at this level right here, level 8, which then I can assemble them together and have that AK-74. Now, at some point, the AK-74 actually becomes better than the Molotov cocktail, and you'll see that there's just really no point even in comparing the two. Okay, so let's go back here. I'm going to synthesize my bones here, and then probably drop the charcoal. I'm going to drop also a few other cans just to lighten my load. I have 3 of these on. I don't really need 3 of them on. Yeah, I'm going to drop 2 of them here. I'm going to drop my gas because I obviously don't need that right now. Drop my empty flashlight. Just dropping all the the excess things that I really don't need. That steel was definitely dragging me down. So now my load's at 52%, which is pretty good. Eventually you'll have so much stuff you'll have to pick and choose kind of what you like. So now I'm going to just save the game. I'm usually always saving. I'm surprised it took me this long to save. That's usually the time that I die and be like, oh, what the hell. Okay, so pretty much now what I'm going to do is just scavenge these nearby cities looking for useful items. Maybe just while we're here at this video still, I'm going to go into Yaroslavl and check out the next part of that quest. I'm just going to try and go in on this side so then that way I can avoid any water. Yaroslavl looks different. All other towns were destroyed, just like after a war. Here, something strange has happened. There are no ruins, but the people. Looking at these skeletons, it's as if they just fell down in the streets, dying instantly. But what was the cause? I feel like I'm close to the truth. Now it wants us to look for something unusual. In order to complete this, you need photos. So let's view you on the map. You'll see that it's bringing you to, it's supposed to be right there, to a blast area. Now, a few times that I've been here, I've left because I'm not able to find those photos. Really, to find photos, you just need to look anywhere on the ground. So if we go over to this blast site here, a lot of attacks happening. Okay, so in the past, I've gone straight to where it's told me and tried to look around. You're not going to really find anything. What you need to do is go over into a plain area, hit location, and then you can notice you'll find photos. I've actually missed this in one of my first times ever playing this game, and I started to go cross country looking for other things. Okay, so next part. I found several strange photos of a panicking crowd on a destroyed street. There is also a strange crater with a scarlet glowing object. The last photo shows this object, but it is already dark red, like hot metal that has cooled. I need to find this place. So viewing on the map, it wants us to go to the blast site. That's where we will go. There it is, the street from the photo. There is a crater and a lot of skeletons, but the strange red object is missing. Who could have taken it? I'll start my search by checking the local police department. So now we're headed over to the police department right beside the crater. Here it is. These guys didn't even manage to bring this red thing into the station. They all dropped dead right in front of the door. It's a capsule. It is made of some lightweight metal, but it is very hard at the same time. The front of the capsule has been opened. It's empty. I think it's a shell, perhaps for a biological weapon. No wonder the police officers died so fast. I definitely shouldn't touch this capsule. There is nothing to do here. I have to check the other big towns to find more answers. Now it wants us to go to Nizhny Novgorod, which is further down there. So we're not going to be doing that right now. Also, the other quest we're on is Retribution. And this wants us to go to Moscow, which is in this area. So what I'm going to be doing now is just pretty much heading back to my base. I'm also going to be trying to scavenge for items on the street. I'm looking for motorcycle parts. I'm looking for machine oil, masking tape. I'm looking for the items that I need in order to create the motorcycle over here. So this is what we need. We needed to find a disassembled motorcycle. I'm right now going to scavenge for more spare parts, machine oil, insulating tape, and a couple spark plugs. You could pretty much get these on the road anywhere. So right here alone, once I disassemble a vehicle, I'm going to get some machine oil. I'm going to get some gas. I'm probably going to get those spark plugs. Now, I'm not worried about the tires right now. The tires I'm going to save till later to bring to my camp. The only reason, well, maybe I'll pick up two and I'll grab them. Now, the only reason I even care about the tires is because when my wear and tear on my bicycle needs to finally be fixed, on my motorcycle finally needs to be fixed, I'm going to need a couple spare tires. So let's just pick them up right now while we're here. And let's just check out a few of these craters. So there's one with dirty water. We're going to mark that off with the star. Might as well pick up a few more bottles while I'm here. You can never go wrong. I like to pick up usually about 50 extra ones, so then that way I can drop them off at my base, just so then that way if I need to get there in an emergency, that it's already there. That's pretty much, nothing too much else interesting is here. Actually, here, there is something I almost missed right here. This is a gas station. This is going to be awesome for when you finally get a motorcycle and you need to find some gas. So I'm just going to leave this spot where it is, and I'm going to mark it with green gas. Now, some gas stations have diesel. In that case, I usually will mark it with the red instead. If it's got both, then I throw both markers on there. I'm going to pick up all those items, mark it off here. My radiation's at 25, but I'm going to head over to this car workshop and pick up some insulating tape and the machine oil. Now, there's no reason to lug around a broken car battery until you finally unlock the chemistry level for it, because it is heavy and it's going to weigh you down. There's no reason to carry it around with you. Now my levels are getting high, so I'm just going to go over to, I was going to drink some from the vodka, but let's bring all of these levels down while I'm here. Now I don't really need too much in this one, the department store. Sometimes a department store will hold other chemicals. You can use those chemicals to create these designs here under chemistry. You'll see this one requires colloidal sulfur. This one needs potassium nitrate. Okay? Got to get my levels back down here to the norm. Pretty much I'm going to get out of here now. Okay, maybe I want to scavenge one more area. Now, you could be just draining the fuel. If you need just gas, you could drain the fuel. I'm just disassembling items so I can try and get those points that I need. And once you disassemble, you get, I think, bigger points by scrapping metal. So the blacksmithing, I'm at 220. Now I'm at 243. So scrapping items too is another way for you to get those points. Now my radiation level again is extremely high. I kind of want to just get out of this town. So right now I'm just headed back to my camp. I'm going to kindle my fire. I'm going to get my levels all back to par. And I'm also going to make sure I get a rest and bring my level down there for that. My fatigue right now is almost nearing 300. It's insane. I think that's actually the highest I've ever gone like that without taking drugs and that type of thing or taking any caffeine products. So let's get all these back down, and I'm just going to have myself a rest. And when I get up, I'm going to start scavenging the nearby cities. It'll probably be a silent gameplay. Maybe we'll try and throw some music in there anyway. And I'm going to start collecting items that I need for For better armor, maybe we'll try and get the leather items made. If not, we'll go for the level below it and work our way to the leather item. Also, I want a motorcycle. So I'm going to be scavenging some nearby cities for excess gas. And then I'm going to start dropping gas off at my bases. So that way every base will have a little bit of gas there. I'm going to just keep resting until my other level here for my poisoning goes down, because right now it's still at 17. And that'll just keep rising if I'm in a town. So anyway, that's it for now. Next video, I'm going to just be scavenging around and we'll be getting those things done. I need a motorcycle and I need better armor. Then we can continue on that quest. Okay, we'll see you at the next video.